So things are obviously not well with me. If you saw some of the videos I had, things are really very bad. They're getting too bad for me to cope with them. Like, past year I've tried to cope with the autoimmune issues, but things are getting far too difficult to deal with. So the problem is I can't eat anything anymore. This is what has been happening the past week or two. Obviously I've had dietary issues ever since the autoimmune condition starting, transitioning. But now I can't eat anything. So if I eat any sugar, now what happens to me now happens. My eyes get worse, my ears get worse, they start crackling, I can't hear as well, get bloated in a very strange way. My legs start hurting. My legs hurt. This very strange pain is in my legs from sugar. I get really weird vertigo issues, everything, the joints. It's just every part of my body and every system. It's terrible. So I can't have carbs. But my body doesn't digest meat well, and it seems to just reject it sometimes. And it just feels horrible to be on the meat thing. It does something really terrible to my body. But at least I can sleep with the sugar, which I did try this new diet today, or yesterday, I guess. And I haven't slept. That's why I made the video, so I could do something during the night, but yeah, it just kept getting worse and worse. And this happens every single time I try sugar again. Every single time it's exactly the same. It's really so weird. The insomnia, I don't get it. It tells me something though. It's because it's so profound, the insomnia. And it makes sense that I've had insomnia all this time. I wish I knew these things when I was younger, when I felt so compelled to have to sleep at certain times, and I just laid in bed all night awake, thinking, man, it sucks being mentally ill, but that wasn't the issue, I don't think. I just had sugar that day, and it was probably my autoimmune condition or something. I don't know. Insomnia is so absolute when you have any sugar. So absolute. There is nothing that could put me to sleep. Even though I'm drop dead tired, there's nothing. I just have to wait for the sugar to leave my system, and then I can sleep. Don't know why. It only takes a few hours. But yeah, so and the problem is the real problem is every time I eat, it gets permanently worse. So if I if I eat sugar and then my legs start hurting, they'll start hurting worse than they ever hurt. My ears will get worse than they ever were. My eyes will get worse than they ever were. And they're permanently damaged at this point. Like, my eyes don't work properly. They don't work how normal eyes work anymore. I don't know how they work. It's weird. It's different. I've gotten sort of used to it. But they're not at all how I used to see even just a year ago. My joints completely ruined. Had to give up music and everything. I can't even use the computer very much anymore because of it. I've tried to adapt, you know. The thing is, I don't want people to feel sorry for me. It doesn't do anything for me. If you have any suggestions, I guess, but I've tried so many doctors, so many, and I've done MRIs and blood tests and everything, and every time it takes like 6 months to get to a specialist. 6 months. So I wait, getting worse, permanently worse for 6 months again. I can't do it. I just can't do it. That's why I've not been going to doctors. I can't do the 6-month wait, and then you go to a specialist and you hope they help, and you tell them your issues, and they don't, first off, they don't believe you. And they do the tests, and they, whatever, and they say, yeah, I don't know what's wrong, and then that's it, 6 months of your time. You're now 6 months worse than you were permanently because no one knows what's wrong. This is how a lot of autoimmune people deal with it, This happens a lot to all sorts of autoimmune conditions, and then, they're completely debilitated, and the doctors are like, okay, yeah, well, these are the hallmark signs of this, let's test for this, and then they finally do that test, and they're like, oh yeah, you have whatever, MS or something. And you're like, oh, okay, well, how do you fix that? And they're like, oh, you can try this, but it'll give you cancer and it might not help. It's like, things are getting really bad. At a certain point, because of the lack of eating, I will have to, go to the ER. I'm just thinking. I don't know what to do. What am I supposed to do? Go back to the doctors, beg them for a referral to a rheumatologist, wait 6 months. The rheumatologist does some tests and says, so I can't do it. I don't have the energy to do all that for nothing. But I'm dying, so I'll probably end up doing that, even though I don't want to. But I don't know. It doesn't really matter much. If I stay this healthy, if I just stop it right now, which I know won't happen, and I just stay this healthy, I'm already ruined. I can't do anything I enjoy anymore. So, yeah. I don't know. There's just not... It was so bad earlier. I'm just not well enough to even help myself at this point. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. But yeah, let me know.